We're back here at Tempo Dulu with Tammy Ackerman of Engine on Main Street in Biddeford. Tammy, before we talk a little bit about your nonprofit, we want to give a shout out to Chef Joe from Sea Salt Lobster, who prepared a garlic and basil lobster tail dish for us.
Delightful.
Looks amazing. You have not been yet, so you've got to try.
I have not been.
Your neighbors on Route 1 North.
Yeah.
So thank you, Sea Salt Lobster, for bringing this delicious meal to us. Tammy, you've been in the area for about 10 years in Biddeford.
Yep.
Why Biddeford?
Why not Biddeford? Well, it was, kind of the right place at the right time for me. I had been looking for a new community. I was living out in Nevada, in Reno, and real estate prices were rising, and I really wanted to live in a historic downtown. And so I took this trip around the country, bought a Eurovan, and tried to drive the entire perimeter of the United States. And so on our way down, the eastern seacoast, stopped in Biddeford, and kind of ironically stopped at the Rennie's store to see what they had.
Love Rennie's.
Yeah, and so I discovered their downtown, and I discovered the mills, and I'd never really seen anything quite like that. Growing up in South Dakota, our architectural jewels are the grain elevators and things like that. We don't have that we don't have all that brick. So when I drove through Biddeford, I was just astounded by how beautiful it was, and all the industrial past was really intriguing, and Main Street buildings are lovely and has really good bones.
So Engine started about 4 years ago?
About 6, informally.
Okay.
Joshua Bodwell, my partner, and I co-founded it, and we started doing events. We didn't have a location. We started doing events, like we hosted Amy Stacy Curtis, who is an artist in our area, one of her biennials in the mill space, and we did a big sculptural installation in another mill space. And so we started generating some foot traffic and activity. And then we were awarded one of the first of 2 Maine Arts Commission grants, the Creative Economy, or the Creative Communities Equals Economic Development grants that they did. With that, we were able to get a location, open a venue on Main Street, and in the process of opening that venue, we were given the Rennie's building, which,
great.
Yeah,
Ironic how that
ironic and very fast, very fast for it's pretty serendipitous, I think. Yeah.
So what's happening there now?
Well, we're in a very unsexy phase of the project. Everybody's asking me every day, what's going on with the Rennie's building? We call it the Marble Block now because that's its historic name. Used to have a hall on the top floor, the Marble Hall, and right now we're in, like I said, the very unsexy phase of abatement. Does that sound nice? So getting rid of all the asbestos and the lead and stuff like that. But we're also in a heavy planning phase too. So looking at financial modeling and what can we make this building? What can we afford to make this building into?
And you're also helping other entrepreneurs bring their businesses to Biddeford. I love that part of it.
Yeah. We're a big cheerleader. I mean, part of our mission, our tagline is propelling the creative community. So our mission when we started, and it still is to this day, is to attract people into the community, creative people, creative businesses, artists, designers, and things like that. And then to also help them find resources, have a place to show, have a place to kind of, examine their ideas, and see if they can, invent a product or things like that.
And in 10 years, you've seen Biddeford change a lot in such great ways.
Yeah, I mean, Biddeford, it's an interesting community. I'm a gritty person, I like the underdog, and what I really liked about Biddeford was its authenticity. And, when I first came, we were, like I said, at the height of the housing market, the real estate boom, and things were looking good, and then we had, the Great Recession, and things kind of took, 2 or 3 or 5 steps backwards. And then slowly started to rebuild from there, to where we are today. In the past year, it's been remarkable. Just even watching the street traffic, of who's walking where, and that's kind of an indication of all this new energy that's coming into the downtown.
The mills yesterday, the tour was beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us. This smells so good. Thank you all for joining us. Join us next week. We're going to be on the road exploring Cape Elizabeth, another beautiful community. So have a good day, everybody.